Before ever doing this YouTube thing, I was actually a personal trainer. I was a NASA master trainer and a sports performance coach for nearly 20 years. And in all of that time, I've never seen an app truly deliver a personal training experience. Well, till now. What up, superhumans? BT here. Listen, if you are new to this channel, first of all, welcome. I hope you enjoy it here. A few months ago, I competed in my first jiu-jitsu tournament in nearly 3 years. It was the IBJJF World Masters Championships. That's basically like World Championships, but for slightly older guys like myself. I was healthier and more fit than I had been in years, and I felt great. I performed well. And despite losing first round, God, I hate losing. I hate losing so much. But I knew that one area I was lacking in was my strength. Now, as fate would have it, as I was rummaging through workouts, trying to figure out what would be best for me, I got an email about a personal training app. Now, as a YouTube channel that does both fitness and technology, I actually get lots of emails about personal training apps. And if I'm honest with you, 99.95% of them are horribly underwhelming. But this email came from Chad Wesley Smith.
That I was one of the 10 strongest powerlifters of all time.
That's Chad Wesley Smith. So when he asked if I wanted to try this training app, I jumped at the chance. Especially since I knew he does jiu-jitsu, coaches other jiu-jitsu athletes, and has a jiu-jitsu specific app. God, say jiu-jitsu 3 times fast. Now that I'm on week 7, day 3 of this training app, I can honestly say it is the best fitness app I've ever used and the closest thing to having a personal trainer on your phone.
If someone's not looking to compete in a specific sport, whether it's powerlifting or jiu-jitsu, so what either of our apps are specifically designed for, the jiu-jitsu one's going to give a more well-rounded, functional type of training experience because it's combining all the same physical demands that are for jiu-jitsu, like strength, speed, power, and endurance, which are also just going to be good for anyone looking to perform, look, and feel better.
I've got 2 things. First of all, they make a non-jiu-jitsu specific app that you should check out. But also, the lifestyle program that's in the jiu-jitsu specific app is actually for anyone and everyone.
Yeah, main premise behind the Juggernaut AI and Juggernaut BJJ apps are that we want to be able to create individualized training for the masses, to effectively do the same thing that a one-on-one coach would do, but at a fraction of the cost.
Now, if you're opening this app for the first time, you're gonna start with a setup process, not uncommon, but generally, in most apps, this is a pretty generic process. Maybe you're establishing a BMR. However, in this app, as Chad says, it's actually building an archetype, a lifter profile on you, and the more workouts you go through, the longer you use it, the more those workouts become very specific to you and your needs. Your workouts are going to be determined by the program you decide to choose in the setup process. This is from tournament prep, strength, speed and power, endurance, and lifestyle. We're going to talk about tournament prep and lifestyle a little later on. Each workout is going to start with a readiness questionnaire. This is kind of like the questionnaire you go through with Whoop, just on a smaller scale. As you can see, I've got my readiness check-in. It starts with current body weight, then how did you sleep last night? And it's gonna rank it between 1 and 5, 1 being poor and 5 being excellent. Here's a really interesting one, and I asked Chad about this. It says, how would you rate your diet in the last 24 hours? 1 being missed meals or feeling hungry, and 5 being ate in a caloric surplus with plenty of nutrient-dense foods.
Yeah, because just food quality is going to be as determinant about recovery, because you could have really high food quality but intentionally be eating in a deficit because you're trying to cut weight, have more impact on recovery than even if you were eating just Pop-Tarts and whatever surplus.
Yeah,
that plus is going to be more impactful of recovery just from like you this was your basal metabolic rate for the day, and we replenished all of it rather than left you in a deficit.
And then once you're done, you're just gonna hit start workout. Now, this readiness questionnaire might not look like much, but it's honestly where the magic starts to take place. Because depending on how you answer and depending on your recovery, your workouts could change, more or less volume depending on that recovery.
So our readiness questionnaire is looking at how you feel for that day. It's looking at how we really expect you to feel based on the other training around it. And then the end of session check-in and the next day's questionnaire creating sort of this running weighted average of,
okay,
all right, how is Brandon feeling around this training? Is he saying it's, if he feels great all the time, maybe it's too easy. If he's feeling run down, it's too hard.
I forgot to mention that before the readiness questionnaire, you're gonna have a warm-up. And these warm-ups are far more effective than just, sitting on a stationary bike or jogging. They're really designed to prep you for your primary and secondary lifts. Each workout is going to start with a primary lift and maybe a secondary movement that helps facilitate that primary lift. If you don't know what an exercise is, you can simply tap the info icon and you're going to get a video tutorial of how to properly execute that exercise. Plus, you've got coaching cues down below as well. Let's say I couldn't execute one of these movements for whatever reason. I can always hit the swipe icon and there I'm gonna be given a list of exercises that I could swap with it. I could hit select and it's gonna give me the option to select it just for today. So doing it for just that workout, or I can do it for the rest of that program. Now, once I've done each set, I've got a performance section here. And when I go into performance, I can list my weight. Let's say it was my body weight, my reps, my rate of perceived exertion was supposed to be a 7. Maybe that was way too easy. And I thought, hey, that's a 4 out of a 10. Well, what's super cool about this program is that even during the workout, depending on what I select in the performance, if my RPE was way too low, then this is going to adjust the rest of the exercises to match that volume. So depending on how I'm doing during the workout also adapts. This is pretty crazy. I've never seen an app do this, and that's why I said this is the closest thing to personal training that I've ever seen from an app. Further on down, I've got a big combo set. That's 4 exercises in a row, and there's 2 sets that I go through. Underneath each set of exercises, when I'm all done, I can also fill in some notes. So if you're a coach and this is something you're using for an athlete, this is a great place to put in notes, but I could also put in something like, man, my shoulder was fried. And then at the end of this, I typically have a lumbopelvic hip complex oriented timed round. So each match that I have in a tournament is 6 minutes long. This round is also 6 minutes, so it's really nice that I'm getting some specificity. Plus, the LPHC oriented movements are incredibly challenging, and I can definitely see the benefit of doing them already. Once you're done, you're gonna hit finish workout. Then it gives you an end of session check-in. And this is kind of like your readiness questionnaire at the start, but it's also gonna prep how your next workout goes. So if I said, hey, this was way too hard, my next workout is probably gonna be dialed back just a little bit, again, depending on my recovery readiness that I fill out tomorrow. 2 final thoughts. Number 1, listen, if you do jujitsu and you're serious about it, you compete, I highly recommend selecting the tournament prep program about 2 to 3 months out. The tournament prep program is going to create a very specific periodized program to have you peak at the right moment. Number 2, if you don't do jujitsu at all, select the lifestyle program. It gives you an awesome balance of everything, the strength, speed, power, endurance, and mobility to help you feel, perform, and look better. Finally, thanks to Chad for putting this app on my radar. Honestly, I thought his app was just for powerlifters, but that was obviously wrong. And I've seen some huge improvements on my deadlift, bench, and then I think I told you I did a 54-inch box jump. And that's not my highest, but it's been the highest that I've attempted in, 7 years. So super pumped with that. And thanks to you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Nothing does more for this channel and this video by hitting the like button. And please consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this, of course. Well, that's it. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Yeah, 970 pound squat, 570 pound bench, 815 pound deadlift, professional strongman.
So you've got some credentials.
Yeah, okay.